Well, we're looking forward to a great game this weekend. I think that last year, I know it was the first time that the Nicus Cup came back to Colorado Mesa. Obviously, we want to keep it now, and so it's going to be a major challenge. We know that Mines is really an outstanding football team, and I think they're very worthy of their number 10 in the nation ranking, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity for our guys to show that we're now one of those elite teams as well. I think at this point we're the front runners, but I certainly wouldn't count CSU Pueblo out, nor would I count anybody else out. There's a lot of football games to be played, and I think it's a standpoint that you got to take one game at a time. I think our guys have done a great job of that to this point, and I think they focused in on Western. We had Western, and literally even in the couple weeks leading up to that game, I thought that was very, very important. And I think Western showed that they're a very good team the way they rebounded this last week. And then we put the focus in on Shattern last week, and I thought our guys did a very good job there. And I know that now this week we're going to just focus in on Mines, and we'll let the chips fall where they will down the line. But there's a lot of football to be played, and there's a lot of good football teams in this conference. Well, I think Dustin had a great game last week, and I think he's just getting more and more comfortable back in the safety position. And I think a couple of those were phenomenal interceptions. I mean, one of them he covered a lot of ground, and the other was off a tip ball. And so I think he's becoming more comfortable there. But I think the other thing is he's becoming more comfortable with the guys around him as well. Our corners are basically playing pretty well. You know, one of the things that I'm going to address there is, you know, you take a look, if a team's going to throw the ball a bunch, and they've got talented receivers, they're going to get some yards passing. And there are occasionally going to be some big plays. When that happens, what we're more interested in as coaches is how the players respond. And I'm going to go back to the last big touchdown that Shattern had late in the game, you know, where the receiver beat Tony Clark. What was as impressive to me as anything was the way Tony responded the very next series. They came right back, they went after him again, and he's right in the guy's face, and he's breaking up the pass. And so it's a standpoint of, you know, when you get beat, you can't live on that. You got to get ready to go again. He did a great job with that, and I think our players have done that. And I think that's what we got to understand this week. There's going to be times that, you know, before I throw some great balls. I think one of the things that we've talked about as a staff is he really helps his receivers. He's got a very, very good receiving core, and then he's got an outstanding offensive line in front of him. They got a 1,000-yard rusher. And so they're not just one-dimensional. They do a great job with their offense. And I think it's a standpoint that he doesn't make very many mistakes, but what we got to be able to do is capitalize when he does make that mistake. And I think right now our guys are starting to do that.
I just think, I mean, everything's came together. I mean, we have weapons all across the board, and our receivers are tight ends, our running backs, and quarterbacks. And we have Easton, who we can put in there. He could be a quarterback, receiver. I mean, shoot, but he can even play tight end. I mean, we just have all kinds of weapons, and in the red zone, we're just coming down there, and really the most improved players on the offense is definitely our offensive line. And I got to give a big shout out to those guys. I mean, this is my 4th year playing for this team, and this is by far the best offensive line that we've had, and it just all starts in front, and that's just amazing how much that helps. Oh, I mean, even in the spring, the offseason, it's always been realistic to us. I mean, it's just the aspect that everyone else now is noticing what we can do. I mean, we know what we can do. We've known what we can do. And the confidence in the locker room and the coaching staff has always been at a high level. So, I mean, now it's just everyone else is seeing what we've been seeing this entire time.
You know, we really have that. I mean, we've had a few sacks, but we're getting pressure on quarterbacks. We're getting hits. We're getting basically knockdowns on things. We've had a few tip balls, and we want to continue to do that. And all of those things are important factors, because even if it's just a tip ball, it's still it's a down that they didn't have success on, and all of a sudden now it changes, you know, as far as what they have, as far as whether 1st and 10 to 2nd and 10 or 3rd and 10, whatever the situation is, and it gives you a little bit more chance to kind of pin your ears back. Don't think that Mines is one-dimensional at all, you know, because everybody, you know, they throw the football so well and they put up so many yards, everybody kind of forgets about their running game. And like I said, Sam Seaton last year ran for over 1,100 yards. and Dvorak is a danger when he's scrambling. And one of the things that he does is he keeps plays alive. And when he does that, it's amazing how many plays he makes running from one sideline to the other sideline and back. And then all of a sudden he throws the ball down the field and it's first down. We go back to 2 years ago. The very, very first series, they were going for it on 4th down, and we had him in the backfield, and he breaks away, and lo and behold, he throws a touchdown pass. And so we know that he's a danger. And so what we've got to do is we just got to keep playing. And it is going to be 60 minutes of great football, knowing that there's going to be peaks and there's going to be valleys. And you got to survive the valleys, and when you're at the peak, we got to continue to use that momentum to build for everything we're looking at. I'm going to be honest with you, I think our offense can keep up with anybody. And I think our defense can keep up and compete. And I think you're going to see a great football game, but I think we have great confidence in our players. I think they believe in the things we're doing. And I think this football team is capable of hanging with anybody. High scoring, low scoring, any situation, I think our guys believe we can compete. And that's the greatest thing, because when you do that, there's always that chance. And if you ask us, just like Daniel said, maybe we're going into the game as an underdog. That's because you all think that. That isn't because we think that.